Guess it would help if I added myself to the stage. Hey, Don. Hey, Keith. A little bit behind here. Got to get the instructions up. I had a brain fart there. I'm like, which one am I pulling up? Yeah, I'm finally back to building the San Francisco Tram. Looking away from the chat right now. Okay. But I'm finally getting back to building the tram or cable car. It's just been really busy here lately. And now that I'm all but retired, I have more time. I am out of practice. Absolutely, Don. Bringing the instructions up. Let's see. Where were we? Somewhere about there. Definitely out of practice. Haven't done this regularly in months. I actually couldn't figure out where the wheels were. I couldn't figure out where these were today. Retirement's already affected my brain. Yes, indeed. And Keith or Don is right. You will join us, Keith. But I couldn't figure out where these were. And then I happened to look down at the cabinet, this cabinet, and I was like, that's right. I put them in there. Put them in there so that I would know exactly where they were the next time I needed them. No, I didn't forget how the wheels work, Eric. I forgot where the wheels were. And Keith said, hopefully in 4 years. And with 2 large monitors, it's kind of a trick to get your mouse over from one to the other. All right, so last time we worked on this, last time I worked on this, I was touching up paint, and I had remembered that I had forgotten that that corner right there. Let's bring up that camera. I brought it up and then I killed it. That corner right there. By the way, how is that camera tonight? I know it was blown out before. I think I fixed it by going into the Logitech software and telling it to behave. So let me write paint. I think we need this one as well. Yeah, black. That's what I don't have. Way out of practice. But everything is pretty close. It's got an old guy's arm on it. It does. Somehow it does. I think I only need one of these. I can bring it closer. Nah, further away. Yes, absolutely, it looks better. And even worse, let's see where the old guy's arm. Here, Eric. Now it's got an old guy's face on it. So back to center stage on there. Come on, focus. So yeah, still getting used to the new setup, and it's kind of funny because I haven't had time to do any modeling this week at all. Just kind of playing catch up on things around the house. Installed a new ceiling fan upstairs today. That was kind of cool. We bought one. Sorry, lost my train of thought because I'm looking for the pipettes that are all the way across the room here. We bought one that has the blades internal to it. We kind of looked at it, and it's kind of cool. Like the idea of the absolutely, you cannot unsee that, and it gets worse the more I don't shave. Squirrel, absolutely squirrel moments all the time. But no, we did they've been called bladeless ceiling fans. They're not the blades are internal. But it was kind of funny because I was looking at it and I'm like, how do you clean the blades? At least I'm wearing a shirt and pants. I am wearing pants. Goofy pants, but pants. But I was looking at it, trying to figure out how you clean the blades, and it said you take the screw out and then you twist the thing. And I was like, that's as far as I read. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I looked at it. Well, no, it turns out what you do to clean this fan is you take it off. You unmount the thing completely from the ceiling. It's a little bit odd, but it'll be okay. Let's see, catch up with chat. Yes, I am wearing a shirt, and it is not Mickey pants. It is Donald Duck pants. Pajamas. Everybody knows I live in pajamas. Eric was almost caught up on my videos, and Mother's Hate Nature said, nope. After 2.5 days with no power, I'm you're not that far behind, Eric. I'm only posting one a day, and some of them are pretty short. Hey, Kenneth, welcome. Very cool. You're watching while you're on your lunch break. Oh, Mickey is on the shirt. There is that. I thought you were talking about the pants. It is a very Mickey t-shirt. And Donald, I call them the pajamas I'm wearing, or the pajama bottoms I'm wearing. I call them my duck pants because it's Donald Duck. So let's get back in here. Hopefully I don't have too much paint to where it's going to run up underneath that tape. And those of you who are keeping score or watching or what have you on Discord are going to be glad to know that I finally slept like a normal person last night. I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning or earlier since before I retired. And then last night I actually slept in until, or this morning I actually slept in until 7:30. Trying to get a somewhat normal schedule. No happy little trees tonight. No, that's the other guy. And that's what she said. Oops. So this is going to be one of those models that I keep going back and forth until I finally get tired of it, because I know I'm going to keep repainting this and have a little spot that I don't like. I've done that on models before. I don't know how many times I've repainted spots, and I finally go, okay, that's enough. We're going to leave it as it is. I should have primered the metal piece. The paint is not sticking to it well, but it is sticking to it. I'll just have to come back in a little while and add another coat. I have to do some touch up underneath here. Just little places here and there where I've sanded. I actually, my brain just clicked on the happy little trees because I'm painting. I got to paint right. Ah, there we go. That's really intelligent. That's why I keep paper towels right underneath the bench. Kenneth said that's an amazing story. Bingo. Is there a bingo card for me painting myself? You know, I think Todd may end up coming up with a bingo card for this as well, although I don't have it in the description. Okay. Like I said, the corners, matter of fact, this corner needs to be redone. Where is Donnie? Because Donnie will be happy to know that I'm figuring, fixing, I guess would be Donnie instead. Figuring is Ian. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to stream 2 hours tonight, simply because I have nowhere to go tomorrow. Although the roof guy from the storm damage, roof guy's finally going to come and look at our roof and tell us how badly we're going to get messed over by the insurance company. Hopefully not badly. Yeah, schedule. Eric said his schedule is based around feeding Sparky gas every 6 to 8 hours to keep them from freezing. I can understand that. When we had ours, it wasn't a matter of we were trying to keep from freezing. It was a matter of keep boredom away because it wasn't really cold. The problem was directly behind our house and across the street. One family put their generator in the backyard, the other one put theirs in the front yard. So we had generators out both windows, the front and the back of the house, which was really irritating after 2 days. Understand trying to keep your stuff cold and whatnot, but they weren't really doing that, at least behind us. They were on the TV or watching TV and cruising the internet. It was really kind of irritating because it was hot enough that we wanted to open up the windows, but we couldn't stand to open the windows because of the 2 generators. And having been here, I'm going to have to knock on wood here in a minute. But having been here for 5 years, that's the first time we've lost power for any significant amount of time. Knock on wood. Let's see. Oh, sorry, left the same chat up there. That did suck, Eric. Glad your power's back on. Yes, I am on the loose. And no more standing in the cold. We needed power for phones. So, yeah, I did see that on Discord that your cell tower is now a county over. Our nearest cell tower is always down at the end of the street, which is why T-Mobile works really well for me. Okay. Little touch up there. I'm going to have to touch up the white on here. Okay, for right now, except for maybe right on these corners. I hate it when I get up too much paint because these OcCre paints are really small bottles, but fortunately I have a larger bottle of this burgundy here. I should have did what Dash said. Set this up as the cable car and then have the Victory on the bench. Speaking of the Victory, Dom is cruising on that thing. Same here, Keith. I hope Eric didn't suffer much storm damage. If you're on Discord, I did post the pictures a while back. My house looks like Swiss cheese in the back. 2 sides are really bad. 1 side is not too bad. We're hoping they're going to do siding on all 4 or all 3 sides. We have brick in the front. And the regular assessor, when he came through, said if the front of the house, the roof might be, we might be not getting anything for it because it doesn't look like it needs to be redone. I disagree. It's 13 years old. It's been through other hail since we lived here and since before. If you're outside, you may get 1 bar of LTE service now. Wow, at least no 3 to 5G to activate for us. Yeah. Don't think he will finish in 6 months. No, I don't think so. He is flying through that thing, though. Keith sadly was hoping the storm would have taken some shingles so the insurance would help cover his new roof. Absolutely. Still have an assessor come out and take a look at the roof, because our roof looks fine, but it does have damage. I've had more than one roof guy tell me it has damage to it. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And I've got black. I should have silver. Let's turn this over up here, put it aside. And not silver, but gray paint. Yeah, he's on the frame, which really is the complete and total easy part. He's working on the easy button right now. Trying to think, do I need wax paper? Probably not, but more importantly, do I know where the wax paper is? I think it's up here. I'm digging into the dresser that we bought that started this whole rearrange the shop thing. And since we bought some other furniture, my old desk up in the bedroom is going to end up down here. But it's going to end up in the bedroom down here. It's going to end up taking or going underneath the paint booth and the dryer. Got a couple of things I'm kind of not wanting to get rid of that I probably will have to. And then we'll go forward. Once that's done, then I will do a shop video. Just walk around the shop and show what the new shop looks like. I love this. It is very bright in here. And it's comfortable. It really is. Right there in front of me is a TV. So I've got a big open space, big open hole here so I can see the TV, and the camera's up high because of that. So Eric said, can't wait for the Constitution build series. Neither can I. I watched Dwayne's build and I'm like, oh, I want that. I need that in my life. And your Constitution cross section is scary. It's going to be a lot of work. How detailed is it? Because you've got, correct me if I'm wrong, Don, don't you have the one from Model Expo? I do know there's a lot to it, but I also think that the Artisania Latina is a little bit more detailed. And I think I'm going to start that here in the next few days. I keep wanting to start one of the victories. So something to come. Before I start it, need to set up the videos for it. Intro and outro, or well, just an intro, maybe. Maybe I'll do what a lot of people I know do, which is just pop straight in, no intro at all. That should be enough. There it is. I had to break out the brush rinser. Oh, okay. Unlike the Victory, the Victory stops at the mast on the section, and that's right. The Model Expo one has all the rigging and I know the cannons are going to be a lot of work, but the mast and rigging, it has one full mast. So that's going to be interesting. At least you have guidelines for that, unlike the Victory. They don't, at least from what I've heard. I haven't gotten to those videos yet, but the rigging on the masts, from what I've heard, isn't in the videos very well. It's there, but it's very sparse in how much detail there is. When I get to mine, I'm going to probably reach out, and that's not enough paint, or not, yeah, it's too thin. But I'm probably going to reach out to AL and ask them to provide sheets. Rigging's not bad if you have directions, but if you don't have good directions, then it can be a total bear. The fact that the paint is a little bit thin up here is okay, because this is all going to be facing the bottom of the tram. I'm going to just call it tram from now on, because that's what I always call them. It is a cable car, but it's also a tram. I probably should have, as somebody suggested at one point, probably should have varnished these pieces first so that they don't absorb extreme amounts of paint. But it will be okay in the long run. Because most of this is not going to be visible other than just a bare minimum. These metal parts are going to be what's going to be are going to be what's really visible. It's going to be challenging. Might want to get the rigging period model ship book. I think I have a PDF copy of that. I think I obtained a PDF copy of that, which will help a lot. Matter of fact, I know I have a PDF copy of it. Just, I don't know, does it cover specific ships? Because there is the other thing we can do on the Victory is we can just play it by ear and rig it however we want, as long as we have all the masts covered. Purists will go, no, but you know, it's my model. I'll do it my way. Oh, that's nice. So it breaks it down into sections for each ship, or just in general, Don? I'm pretty sure it's going to be in general and not have specific ships in there. But if it does, so much better. Okay. See, people told me that I'd never be my ability to just talk for ever on nothing at all would never amount to anything. And here I have people listening to me as I paint apart and just ramble on. I am almost tempted to just leave this metal bare. I have done it in other models, but actually that's getting pretty good coverage. When is the Battle of the Stash coming? Out of curiosity, when is the Battle of the Stash taking place? Me versus Ken versus Howard. I don't think it is, because looking at Howard's stash and looking at what Ken has shown, I lose. I'm pretty sure I lose. Of course, if they put their stuff into scale mates, we can really tell. I mean, everybody who's watched my channel for a while, you see it at the end of the video. I do have a pretty impressive stash, but Ken's stash beats mine hands down. It really does. You know, 2% smarter than what you're trying to operate. I got the wax paper so I could set things down, and I didn't get a piece out. Keith bought the book on your recommendation, Dawn. Not for specific ships, but it does show all the shrouds and by each mast, foremain, and mizzen. Very cool. Got to get all yours logged into ScaleMates. Wish I had a mobile app. It would be nice if they did, but when I logged mine in there, it was when I was moving the stash from one room to the other, and it took about a week and a half in. Dawn is asking Keith what he thinks. I think he's talking about the book. Could be asking just his general life perspective. What do you think of life? I do have to say, I had somebody from work call me. She had a question about a program that I used to work on. And she asked how retired life is, because Holly is next in line. She has other things that she's got going on, so she didn't retire on this go round. She could have. She is fully retirement eligible. And I told her point blank, I am busier now than I was when I was working. All the things that Andrea agrees with me because we're both doing it. All the things that we've wanted to do for a long time, it was one of these things of there's 2 days on a weekend, so we're going to scramble through, get as much as we can done. Now we have all the time in the world, and so all those things are kind of coming to the forefront, and we are getting them done basically as quickly as possible so that we can be done and then just sit back and enjoy life. I'm sure soon she will start getting back into her stained glass. Right now she's upstairs playing Assassin's Creed while I do this. And I will probably play Assassin's Creed tonight later on. Be a good guide when he does get to the rigging. Very cool. I will, like I said, I've got it. I've got it as a PDF. I will have to take a look at it and actually start working with it. Let me see something. You know what? Oh yeah, those are the instructions in Spanish. Rolling gear. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it looks like they did not paint the metal parts. I'll continue painting them just to have them even out. And just on the sides and the bottom, not going to worry about the inside. And I need more paint. Nice thing is, if I run out of this paint, it is an acrylic. It's basically a craft paint, and I have gray. That might be too much water again. We'll see. The smart man would put on gloves. Nobody ever accused me of that, except maybe Kenneth. Kenneth has accused me of being smart. But the paint on the wood dries pretty quickly. So get this covered a little bit. The spot right there where I used some vinegar on it is being stubborn. I'll come back to that later on. Let that sit. Don says better than most instructions he has seen so far. That's high praise. And Eric said, it never fails. You want to order a small set of photo etch that's only $25, and they want to charge you $15 to ship something that a first class stamp would probably cover. Absolutely. That's always the way it is. Okay. Actually, we're going to let that sit for a minute. Paint on my fingers. Take a look. Just looking to see if there's anywhere I want to touch up. There is a slight spot right there. I have so many stinking paintbrushes. It's not funny. What would be really cool is if I was any good with them. Good, good. I'll have to do some white on there. A little bit on here. Mumbling to myself a little bit. I think it looks good. So now, clean this brush back out. Let's find out how badly it bled, if it did at all. There's some bleeding. This is what I like about wood. This tape has been on here for over a month. Todd and Ian they don't know why, but they just both cringed. They heard a disturbance, or they felt a disturbance in the force. Okay, that's gonna need some touch up under there with the gray. Sean is giving you Mr. Yeah, what's the matter? Actually, it was a San Francisco car, if I remember right, on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That man has been doing television. I don't think he is still anymore, but he did television forever because I grew up on Mr. Rogers. Kind of funny. Before school, it was Mr. Rogers. Well, no, Mr. Rogers was in the afternoon. It was Captain Kangaroo before school. I would watch him every morning before I went to school. It was what was on. Okay. So there's a few spots, and I'm going to raise already ready, so I'm going to go ahead and hit them up right now. And it does look a little bit different when it's wet. Yes, Rogers had a trolley. You're right, it was just a trolley, but it was very close. Looked very much or very close to this cable car. Let's set this down. That way I can steady my hand a little bit better. You know, I've just thought about it. I never did watch the movie about Fred Rogers. I believe it was starring Tom Hanks. I need to watch that sometime. You guys should yell at me when I'm off screen. If you Okay, Eric. The 70s was not a time you should have had cameras in my house. because that's exactly what happened. If I stayed home sick, it was Price is Right. Price is Right, $10,000 pyramid. Man, how inflation has changed things. Card Sharks, all kinds of daytime TV. Never, ever watched the soap operas. Ah, crap. Hate it when I do that. Never watched the soap operas until I spent a summer with my grandparents after Grandpa broke his back. And I spent a couple of weekends with Aunt Sarah, and she watched them incessantly. And I started getting hooked on them, so I was like, no, not so much. Oh, a little bit there. There's just a slight discoloration there, so I'm going to just slap some on there. Sarah was in the 70s. It wasn't such an odd thing. Late 70s, early 80s. But Sarah was off the grid. Matter of fact, they had an outhouse. They did not have a regular toilet. And my brother, when he spent some time there, he did the roof on the outhouse, and he was very proud of his work. He did his shingles on the roof, started at the bottom, worked his way up. Or no, started at the top and worked his way down. So when he got done, Sarah's husband, I don't remember what his name was. He wasn't really an uncle. He was just my aunt's husband. Uncle by marriage. But he looked at Paul and said, "You got the roof on backwards," because the shingles, like I said, he started at the bottom and worked his way up to the top. So when he got done, the water would run straight down under the shingles. Okay, let's catch up on chat. Pittsburgh used trolley car on wheels. They were more like New Orleans trolley cars. Bozo the Clown, that's actually before my time. Just a little bit. Actually, it wasn't before my time. It was just in a different area of the country. And growing up in Anchorage, we didn't have Bozo, but what we did have in the afternoons was Larry Beck, who was known as the Bard of Alaska, and Mother Moose. Larry Beck was very much, he kind of took after Robert Frost. Did a lot of poems about Alaska. Let's see. Pressure Luck, No Whammies. Love that. Price is Right was only a half hour. Price is Right didn't always have a showcase. Don said he does too. And wife is from Chicago, and she was on Bozo's show as a kid. That's right, but that's where Bozo was from. But see, as a kid, I was from Alaska and Oregon. I was born in Oregon, and in 1973, without consulting with me, my parents decided that they wanted to move to Alaska after doing a summer up there on vacation. We owned a truck. We owned a retired milk truck, pink van, that Dad had at one point had been a milkman. But that truck, Dad helped move some people to Alaska up there for the pipeline rush. We went up. Mom and Dad loved it so much that, like I said, the following year, without consulting me, they moved us to Alaska. Wasn't bad, but it was a huge move I was not ready for at 8 years old. I went from being outside all the time, and Mom reminded me of this later on. The first summer I was up there, I went outside and I discovered this thing called a sunburn. I'd never had one before, and I never went out for the rest of that summer. Okay, that's got the roof done. Set this up here, let it dry. Clean this paintbrush off. And we had a car dealer come up from Sacramento, actually, where I was before we moved here. Cal Worthington. He was different. His thing it was he would stand on his head to sell you a car, and he would. Used car dealer in the most classic sense of the word. He didn't do badly, but he did do a lot of, basically he did whatever he could to sell a car. On TV all the time. Speaking of which, there was one point, I think I was 13 years old. I was walking through a used car lot, and I saw this car, and oh man, I wanted so bad. I wanted to find a way to get it because we had one when I was a kid. I don't even know what year it was, but it was a Corvair. Had what was his name? He was a consumer advocate. Ralph Nader was very adamant that this newfangled device that was in the Corvair was not a good thing. He wrote a book called Unsafe at Any Speed because this newfangled type of suspension, he said, would fold up in any kind of a sharp turn. I don't know if you guys have heard of rack and pinion steering. Ralph Nader wrote a book about it. It said it should never be used in cars, and I think that's the most common steering these days. I don't know for sure. I am not really a car guy. Somebody talk Gideon in here. He'll tell us. Unsafe at any speed. Absolutely. And, well, the Corvair had other things that were odd about it. Why do I see holes there? Oh, that's because that's where once they go in there, the screws go in there. But he was very adamant against the Corvair because, among other things, not only did it have the rack and pinion steering, but it also had front wheel drive. My mom had a Corvair. I think, did it have front wheel drive? I think it had front wheel drive because I don't think the drivetrain went to the back. Don, you're right. There is that. It is quiet with Ian not here. And he can tell us all about his Watts linkage. I think that's a tank thing. I don't know for sure. I don't know a lot of what Ian talks about. Nothing against him. He's a good guy, but he thinks he knows more than he knows, or he thinks he knows everything about everything. At least that's what he comes across as. A bit of water in here. I tend to try and use as much of the paint as I can, so I will actually add water to it to get it to come back and be usable. But at this point, I still have to add some more anyway. issue was with rear axle, and it was an air-cooled engine. And that's right. It's been a lot of years. I do know that I learned the importance of not hanging on the car door when you're going to park. I think it was 5 when we were taking the car going. Me and my dad were going to pick mom up from work. And I was like, I'm going to open the door for her. My thought, 5-year-old thought. I'm going to open for the door for her so she can get in really fast, or hold it while it was open. And so when Dad parked, I shot out of the car and my foot went underneath the front wheels. Didn't break anything, but oh man, did it hurt. And they were mad at me. Not, it's one of these things, stupid kid, be concerned, yell at them later. No, yell at them now, yell at you now, and we'll be concerned if you're broken later. I had an interesting childhood. I'm not going to say it was bad. My wife would. I will say it was interesting, and therefore you learn what you live. There are times I am very sorry to my kids for the things that I put them through. Not abusive, just not as easygoing as my wife has been. And because of it, she tried a lot to be their friends rather than their parent. I was the strict one, didn't beat them, just disappointed face. Oh, thanks, Howard. Thank you very much, Howard. Appreciate it. Let's see. Had a boxer engine like the VW. Yes, it did. I've been dashed. Hey, Howard. Hey, Howard. Yeah. I would like to actually find a model of the Corvair. It was a neat little car. Ours was a convertible, and as as one does, when it had some problems that I wasn't the only one that Dad did this to. It had some engine problems. He was trying to diagnose them, and what he did was he ran it really hard to try and figure out what it was. And so it broke down, and we had to park it. We parked it behind a gas station, or they parked it behind a gas station. I was 5. They parked it behind a gas station. When they went back a couple of days later to get it, it had been stripped because it was a Corvair. Same, not the same, not exactly the same type of thing, but when the tornado that Mom had started having problems in Juneau, where there's next to no road, Dad drove it hard, and as far as they could figure out, he bent push rods. They took the engine apart. That car never ran again. And that was a neat car. Front wheel drive, electric windows, huge car. Dad actually one time, because Paul thought he saw a moose, he thought he saw a moose. He called out, there's a moose. Dad thought he was talking about in the road in front. Dad slams on the brakes and put the car in the ditch backwards. Car spun around, and Dad ended up in the ditch backwards. I don't remember if we were able to get directly out or not, but it was interesting. And it turned out to be just some brush or something that Paul saw, not a moose, and it, wasn't in the road. There was no reason for Dad to slam on the brakes. But I will say he was a fantastic driver. I'm rambling as I do. When I get the chance, I can ramble. But he was a fantastic driver. When I was, I think, 17, might have been 18. I was working for IBM in Anchorage, and we would drive into Anchorage from Wasilla, about a 50-mile drive every day. And they took me there he took me there to work. It was just my summer job at IBM. And we're coming down Seward Highway, heading towards Fireweed. Not that I remember any of this at all. But it's been, it's one of them things. It's been a long day, and I'm just kind of kicked back, almost half asleep, listening to the radio when Dad slams on the brakes. And I mean, he slammed on the brakes hard. You hear this. And as he, so I sat up and looked, and I saw nothing in front of us, just free and open 4 lanes of highway. And I'm like, the hell? And then there was this kid in front of us, because this kid was running across the road, against the light. And then the kid was no longer in front of us. Instead, the side of the road was, because Dad flipped the car sideways to not hit the kid. He still hit the kid. The kid bounced off the car door, and we caught traction then and went up over the curb. This little pickup shot in front of us, all kinds of crap going on. Nobody hits the kid. His sister is standing in the other lane, screaming her head off, because she just, as far as she was concerned, she just watched her brother get killed in a car accident. And so Dad has me go over, and I get her out of the traffic, and I bring her over, and we're all we're all trying to figure out how we're going to get the ambulance there. Because this is 81. And this guy starts coming up the hill, and he's carrying this thing, and he's like talking on it. And he came out of nowhere, looked like he had what eventually was known as a cell phone, and called the ambulance and everything else. Cops showed up, ambulance showed up, kid got in the ambulance. Turns out the kid was okay, just got the wind knocked out of him. But this guy had also disappeared by then. And to this day, it's one of the strangest things I ever had happen. Okay, so let me catch up with chat. Ooh, picture in a picture. Yes, Donnie. And a matter of fact, I might eventually put another picture over here, because I still have more cameras. Hey guys, Donnie's here. Eric said, hey, Howard, I was halfway to Ann Arbor with a bag of Monopoly money to buy your stash before you dashed my dreams of buying a bunch of cool stuff. You had me going there too at first, Howard. I didn't think about what the day was. Was at Joanne again today. Spent $800 that 4 times now, but I said $650. That's not bad. I need to swing by the Joanne's that's here locally. Time for Keith to head to bed. Oh, absolutely, Keith. Love doing it. Have a great evening, Keith, and we'll see you in the next one. Keith has a bad habit that he keeps doing that I've given up. Howard said, sorry to dash his hopes. And Howard is now dashing hopes and dreams. Indeed, he is. Okay, and Donnie just showed up. Donnie, guess what? I'm going 2 hours tonight. Every time I stream on a Tuesday, Donnie's like, yeah, you can go longer, you can go longer. Well, this time I'm going to. Okay, so I got that painted. Glue the reinforcement. Okay, now it's time to build this thing, which I've basically built them before. Matter of fact, they're all but built. And we got to put some wheels on them. Wheels I'm not going to paint. I'm not. I am not going to say that 4-letter word. All I said was he has a bad habit that I no longer do. 4-letter word that ends in K, and it'll get you banned off of YouTube. Oh yeah, I've got those as well. So many little bits and pieces that I've put together for this that I have not yet used. Hang on, 2, 4. Get those out. Get these guys out. Donnie says he'll see some of the streams. Did you prank everyone like I said you should with Victor on the bench? I didn't. I thought about it. But the first thing I had to figure out when I started setting up was where the parts were. I did not know where these wheels were. I had to find them. I probably should have. I probably will next year, or even better, do it like do it next week and go, hey, I don't know what day it is. Alec is stuck. Oh, he said the word. He said the word. At least he'll be able to start applying for new jobs either tonight or tomorrow. And that, no, the W word, the W word, Howard. But no, Alec, that's the thing, is if you're not enjoying your job, if it's not going the way you want, you need to move on. There's always more jobs out there. Okay. So this is kind of tricky what I have to do. I need to glue these in place to where the wheels will go on. I have to glue the wheels on, which is interesting considering the holes in the wheels are too big for the dowels. So what I'm going to do, and I've done this before, I just need to find the right color, because what I do is down here, come on, focus. So down here in the hole, what I'll do is on the dowel, I'll wrap some tape around that, and then I'll stick it in here, and that's how I'll glue it in there. Come on, where am I? This does not quite have as good a focus as the ZV-1. How do you work on your phone always? There is that. But no, I'll wrap some tape around here. Let's see. I've got yellow. See how badly that's going to show up. But I don't have very much of the yellow. Doesn't need very much. It just needs a single. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. I am taking it to the next level. I am doing 2 hours tonight. Okay, so we're going to wrap this. See, there might be enough to do a second side. Yes. Anyone who works with Howard has to have their phone put away. And I think instead of Todd dashing me, what he did was he pixeled me, since we sometimes call him Marvel Pixel. And so, I'm sitting here worried about the color of the tape. You're not going to be able to see it because it's going to be in here like this. It's going to be behind there. But actually, we'll go to this one. That is how you fix those wheels. I will throw a little bit of glue in there. I do love this shop, by the way, because so in front of me, you can see the table that I've got in front of me. I have another table the exact same size behind me, actually beside me, and I got another table almost the same size behind me. Okay. Is it bad if you clean your glue brush and your paint water? I know it's Marvel Phoenix, but we've called him Marvel Pixel before, and because he's in Phoenix, I know that. People are saying hi to Todd and Alec. So let's see how this is going to work here. This is where it's going to go south, and it's not going to work. Don't do it that way. Snap that piece off. Yeah, that's not going to work. It's going to work for the wheel. It's not going to work going into the axle or going into the support section there. So we'll just cut that like that. And I think just to make sure that the wheels on the streetcar do work all the way, all the time. Of course, on the other hand, I don't need them to roll because it's all I need is for this to roll off of the shelf once it goes in the display room. Might just glue the wheels in place. Wow. Might make the paint stick better. It's very true. Change the part. His channel name to Sasquatch Part Works. So wanted to say the wheels on the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round. I did say it. Said it in my head. Okay. So we'll take that tape off of there if it'll come. So many tweezers, and the good ones are not. Oh, the good ones are right here. Okay, everybody from Sunday stream, avert your eyes because it's going to be ugly. Nobody but me likes photo or model earth or metal earth. Wheels on the streetcar go round and round, and I grab the wrong tweezers. Chalk the wheels there. Yes, we can. Let's triple dash Buck and make Ian jelly. Okay, that just sounds wrong. I've been triple dashed. Thanks, Howard. I like Metal Earth 2. I have my best set of tweezers. Well, and that's the thing is that, let me show this up. The photo etch tools, I have the ones from Metal Earth specifically for doing their stuff. So if you saw on Sunday, I actually had the little pieces that are the little round rods that are for twisting the tabs 90 degrees. Come on. It's almost. Okay. See if that worked. If it's enough where I can get this in here. If not, I'll mess with it. I'll do a little bit different. And of course, the tape wants to now stick to me. Oh, that's true, Eric. Eric says he only saw flashlight in darkness. And no, Howard, don't send me the postage. I've got it. I've just been busy. But I will get that stuff out to you. Derailleurs on the tracks so that they knock the trolley off. Actually, don't need that. I can knock the trolley off on my own. Okay. That should work. But looking at this, actually, let me see. If I put this one on here, yeah, it's not quite far enough on this other one. Flat spot on the wheels. In all actuality, the base, which is behind me, I believe. The base is in here somewhere. I brought the base in here. The base has the wood that stops at the end of the track, so it will not actually let it roll off. Yeah, I should probably just glue it down. But the one thing I'm wanting to be able to do is get underneath it if I have to, since it's going to have power on it. And that should be good. That sticks out a little bit. That sticks out a little bit. And I'm, again, worrying about little things that you're not going to see because it's going to be up underneath these parts here. So we've got these two here. Don said glue it down, and Eric quickly came back with Don might that I might end up glued down too. It is possible. It's possible. Not likely, but it's possible. Okay, now put this on here. But see, that's the thing, is because these are designed the way they are, I tend to try not to glue things to where they're not going to move. But you're right. I shouldn't worry about it because I don't want this thing to roll. So we're going to throw some glue on there, spread it around. I'm using wood glue on this so that it'll dry a little bit quicker. Push this one over here. Of course, I'm trying to spread glue around that isn't even there. I saw your comment, Alec. I will read it. I will highlight it in a second. Alec said, wait, that is Jordan mostly. Yeah, true. Jordan glues himself to himself. And Alex said, so Buck, if you ever dashed anyone, we could say you bucked them. Also, did you glue your oars to your dory? I did not. My oars are loose. My dory is my dory just sits on the stand. Buck's more like Buck Street somewhere. Yeah. And Alec, you did something that I didn't do on mine. I kind of messed up on mine. Didn't even realize it until I saw your pictures. When I did mine, at the bow of the boat, my rope is on the outside where yours is on the inside where it's supposed to be. I saw yours and I was like, wait. So I looked at the instructions and I'm like, I'll be damned. I did that backwards. Not concerned about it, not going to go back and fix it, but I was like, that's pretty cool. You're teaching the old dog new tricks, Alec. Your dory rope is still in the box. It's not bad. It's not hard to get the rope on there. It's actually really simple. You know what? I am not going to fight with this. I am going to find, where is it? There it is. Who said over there? I know somebody thought it. I'm just going to do it this way. Oh, I hate that. I can't do it that way. I was just going to throw glue in there. I can't do it because it's just such a big gap. Exactly. Artistic license. It's my model. I'll do it my way, even if it's wrong. Come on. We wrap this. A couple of times around here. Another thing that I picked up from Alec is this blue mat. His is orange. I like blue. But I picked up that blue mat simply because it makes sure that I am on camera. If I'm off the blue mat, I know I might be off camera. So we'll slide that on there if it will go. As long as you like it when it's done, absolutely done. And Eric said when the wing nut from the Batmobile build flung out of the case, I saw where it went and it was like over there. It was. Actually, I believe that you're talking about on the air cleaner, and I think I found it. Pretty sure I found it. If not, it'll be okay. So now that's there. Now I threw, not that, wait. Oh, there it is. Threw white glue on there. I'm not sure if the white glue will work, will hold the wheel. The tape is going to hold it more than anything else. Come on. Okay, so where is it? There it is. All together now. Because I have this magical stuff. Everybody go, oh. But I like my zip kicker. Usually it works a little bit faster than that. It was actually still stringing a little bit. Cool, I did find that nut. And the Batmobile, I went as far as I could with it. Those videos are coming. Matter of fact, I have to post videos tonight. I've worked on the Alien today, and it is coming together a little bit better. I did 9 stages, 97 and 98. In the next couple of days, I'll do 99 and 100, and the Alien will be done. Matter of fact, he is sitting right over there. This does not fit that. There we go. That's not good. It wasn't quite dry, and it stuck to the purple mat. So let's see. Oh, look, they do turn. And they are a little crooked. Just no, don't want to let my dogs chew up the alien. Matter of fact, Andrea loves the way he looks. It was kind of funny. Yesterday, she walked in here and I pointed over in the corner. She looked and she's like, oh God, that thing is gross. She hates it, but she loves it. So now, make sure we put this on the right way. It does not matter which way. Oh yeah, it does. On these, there's a curve section. If you put the curve section backwards, it won't go in right. Come on. Now that there's paint in the hole, this doesn't want to go in. It's not so much the paint, it's the fact that the wood swelled a little bit after I painted it. Those are both in. Sorry about the fat arm all of a sudden. Looking for the two screws. There are in every OcCre tram, there are a few screws. And all they do is hold the wheels to the tram. Uh-oh. I'll read your comment there in a second, Eric. That's good. That one's still got a little ways to go. And so now we have the first set of wheels on there. Thanks, Todd. I'll see you later. And thanks for dashing me. And like he said, everybody throw a like. So Fan Helm is messing with me at stage 39 out of stock. Then Monday I received my next shipment that R2 had brushed aluminum dome in it. And you want to build it, but you don't have parts. Eagle Moss, or no. Who did the DeLorean first? Was it Eagle Moss or was it D'Agostini? I think it was Eagle Moss that did the DeLorean. And the DeLorean was stage 76. Dome is badass. It is, absolutely is. But stage 76 was out for 8 months. And so for about 3 months, they didn't send anything. And then they started sending everything past 76. And then they sailed right past 140 and started sending the parts for the extension. And I called them up and I said, I didn't subscribe to the extension. And they said, well, it's automatic, blah, blah, blah. I ended up paying for the first pack. Or no, I sent the first pack back. But no, I got a little bit irritated with them about that too. That dome is really, really cool. Hang on. Just thought of something. Does it show? And of course, I'm blocking the camera. It does not show. Ah, there it is. 45 millimeters. Is it wrong? And that is perfect. So it's 45 millimeters from here to here, from the outer the outer edges on the wheel, and it's perfect. Waiting on the last stage of the Agora Ferrari, been over a month, no shipment. Something about Agora is, for me, is that if they ship it and it goes through Chicago, it's going to take 3 weeks for every shipment, no matter how fast they ship them, because Chicago takes at least 10 days to go through customs. Dome is badass. So 39 is dumb. It has one critical part for the left leg, and then stupid two small screw box. I remember the R2 was a good build though. Norwegian is being processed now. I don't know. I know I didn't stream my dory, but I would love to do a joint stream on the Norwegian or lobster when I get it together. I have the lobster smack gauge. You're right, Don. I have the lobster smack. I haven't gotten anywhere on it in a long time. I've got to get back to work on that. I've kind of dropped out of the group build. Shut up, Donnie. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Had to say that. Donnie's going to say something about a certain starship, I'm sure. But yeah, we could do something. We could figure something out. I mean, for that matter, torn between the Vader or the Constitution once your R2 is done. I'll tell you right now, Eric, which one is more your forte? If you're more into wood, then you're going to want to do the Constitution. But if you're more into Star Wars, you're going to want to do Vader. I watched Wayne's video on the Iron Spider, the first one today, and I was like, oh. I looked at Van Holmen and then I was like, I got to reduce those bills. And Don said he's been watching Ola, but been working on the snake. When Ola's building, I'm working on I've been working on Partworks. Okay. Now I was gonna say, do we do another on another wheel, or do we try and paint? We're gonna work on another wheel. I can still get a little bit out of here. We'll do the same thing as we did before. But what I'm going to do is that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put this on here, put this in here, actually. We're going to work on this end because this end is flat. This end is a little bit misformed. Put that on there like that. Push that back in there. Take a look at the other side. Oh yeah, that is a lot too much. So we're going to do it just about like what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing sides. I want to make sure that the ends are as close to even as I can. They are going to stick out. You just make sure this is going to actually fit in here. That will fit. Okay. I have never had YouTube unsub me. She does, I don't know that she's done more videos. I know she's been doing her streams. I think she's done a couple of videos recently. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to call that good. Find a pencil. Pencils are behind me. What I'm doing is I'm marking where I'm going to put my tape line on this one. Okay. So Eric asked if Ola's been done any videos. She has done a couple of videos, and apparently YouTube is unsubbing him. I've never had that happen. She's been building the Lobster Smack as a group build for beginners, turning out excellent. I do catch a little bit now and then. Like I said, not really watching it. And Alec is on his 15-minute break. His feet are killing him. Can stop hearing those stupid beeps on the scanner. I can just rest. You're right, Buck. As soon as I finalize. Yep. And I fully understand what you're saying, Alec. I have worked in grocery before. I worked for a short time. About what was it? About 3 weeks. I worked for Walmart. Revised resume is going to start by applying to new jobs that pay more than minimum wage. It's absolutely full time, grants you all your insurance benefits. You got to do that these days. Oh, as soon as you finalize your new resume. Wasn't going to mention it, but how is Voyager coming along? Well, it's not. But it will. Now that I'm living the life of leisure, it will sometime after a couple more house projects. So I keep planning on mowing, and Mother Nature keeps saying it's going to rain, or Alexa keeps telling me that Mother Nature is planning for rain, so I'm not getting to it. But I've got to mow the grass sometime the next day or two. Nope, that's too much. Let go. Is it gonna make Wonderfest? Yeah, I will take the Voyager to Wonderfest 2028, thereabouts. So, Alec, I would have to say that the Voyager is my version of Alec's refit, because the Voyager, what was it? I think it was 4 years ago that we did that group build. Donnie and I were in buddy build. It was a 3-person buddy build. And Donnie finished his. The other guy almost finished his and then tore it apart and restarted, and then, borged it up, and then just lost his mind and stopped doing models completely and just abandoned everybody HTM. And that's all we're going to say about that. But no, the Voyager will get done eventually. Matter of fact, the Voyager may make it back onto a stream soon, because it keeps taunting me, and it is in this box. You never know what I'm going to get up to on a wood stream. I might break out a plastic model. But there it is. It needs a paint job, and it needs the wiring finished. It's probably not that far from completion. And I have other Voyager kits that I might do soon. More likely, though, I'm going to do a OcCre Raider. Is the Tidarium shuttle going to make Wonderfest this year? Yeah. About 4 years ago, when we started the group build, finishing is still uncommon. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, That's not as bad as my refit, because actually my refit is, it's not as far along as Ian's refit, but my refit is, let's see, going on 13 years. And I have not, and Donnie is not taking the Tidarium shuttle to Wonderfest. I have not worked on that refit in over a decade. So let's see, that will work right there. God, that wheel looks terrible. I heard that. I cracked the glue a little bit there. Okay, that one's good. Just to make sure of your thought process, how do you shape the mast for everything? My Norwegian or lobster, when I get to it, should I whittle it to roughly the shape, then round it? No. The way, if you have a electric drill, the easiest way to taper your mass is to take an electric drill and make sure you've got extra on your mast. It's got to be longer than what you're working with. But you take the electric drill and you just run sandpaper down it while the drill is running, putting more pressure as further away from the drill as you get to have where you want the taper at. Watch some videos on, watch some of the AL videos, I believe. OcCre videos also show the tapering of masts. Okay, so this can now go on here. Watch, this is going to be too short. Nope, it's not. It's going to be almost perfect. Can you hear me? No? Test. Okay, there we go. I don't know why, but when I looked over at the screen after I saw you guys talking about me, can you hear me now? Yes, indeed. But after I looked over after the seeing the comments that you guys weren't hearing me, I went and started troubleshooting, and I looked down and I saw mute on my mic, and I'm like, oh, that might be it. Let me just make sure. Is it still there? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It muted itself. Where was it? I was right here. You guys were there. Okay, everybody's where they're supposed to be. Oh, you know what? While I'm letting that dry, let me set this over here. Put these back on here because I'm going to move on to something I meant to do a while ago. When I saw the comment, am I talking to myself? I just continued talking. It was kind of funny. So I looked over. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to myself. And then I realized you guys actually could not hear me. So we're going to take these. There it is. I knew I brought the black. I didn't touch the mute button. The mute button's all the way over there. Although I did turn the mic. What I actually did was I unplugged the mic and plugged it back in. That was when I saw that the mute button was pushed. Little drop of black in here. And now it's back. You literally said the thing. Only for it to cut out again. Wait. Is it cutting out again? Let's see. No, it's showing. Oh, it's on Logitech StreamCam. Let me see what happens if I switch it back to Yeti Nano. Okay. StreamYards is playing games with me right now. Because it switched from the Yeti Nano over to the StreamCam. But I didn't tell it to switch over the Yeti Nano or over the StreamCam. It's supposed to stay on the Yeti. So we're going to paint these. And either tonight or next week, we will actually put these inside the cable car. That is the one thing about streaming alone. Oh, and by the way, let's see. No, it's not NATO Black. But trying to save us a little bit of money, I emailed the folks at StreamYard and said, hey, what's the possibility of a discount? Explaining that we are not a nonprofit, but we are just a bunch of guys that hang out on Friday and Sunday and Wednesday. And the occasional stream like mine and Alex. So we'll see. I'm guessing because they did triple the price in the last year, and I have tracking on that. I actually have tracking and started updating some stuff that we did in the last couple of years, just so that I have some sort of records for this, because we're almost becoming like an official club. Just about. Exactly, Don. Can't hurt. Can't hurt at all. But I will tell you right now, and Eric's watching Woodstock Snoopy used Woodstock as a tennis ball. Cool. But it can't hurt, but StreamYard tripling the price really hurt. Fortunately, we have certain people that donated. Thank you very much, Howard. And it, offset the price quite a bit. Is this set up enough to where I can work with it a little bit? Should be. So now I need my model club should be called Nude Beach. It is so funny. It has been 3 years, I think, since I was doing a live stream I think it was in August, and I didn't have a shirt on, and you guys saw me. Ah! I don't care. It's been a while, but it's funny that I now have the reputation of modeling naked. I might someday, just for you guys, or not. Probably more likely not. And I hope you guys appreciate this nice pink washi tape. Pink is good. I don't bring it up consistently. Todd does. And when, that's the thing, is when it gets brought up, I then feel a need to explain what everybody's talking about, or what he's talking about. And the fact is, doesn't bother me a bit. I think it's funny. And Donnie still has nightmares from that stream. It wasn't that bad, Donnie. That channel that we were associated with at that time, yeah, worse things have happened there. I don't know what, but I'm sure worse things have happened on that channel. And unfortunately for you guys, I have carpet now, so if I stand up, the chair's not going to wander away and I'm not going to fall down. Choppers. I hear a helicopter. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go on there. So close. And all it's doing is compressing the tape that there's too much of. Okay, let's try taking a little bit more off. More off than more on. Something like that. But I will say that, as much as Donnie and I joke about that channel and talk, it wasn't bad, still not a bad channel. It's still out there. And I wouldn't be doing this had I never gotten involved with that channel. Where did I put it? I had a ruler earlier. Oh yeah. So we'll just have to grab the triangle. Could have been in. Oh God, no. Please no. Bad thoughts. Bad thoughts. That is not good. That is. That's better. 45 millimeters. I'm going to put this one in the same spot that I thought I put the ruler. Let's see if it disappears. Sorry about that, guys. I've had a frog in my throat for this entire winter. I think it could be that my hay fever has decided to be a little bit more than just a summer thing. If you guys see me pull glue up weird like that, it's because this glue is drying out and it starts to string. The ice pick didn't remove the image of Ian in the fan home free gift shirt that was 9 sizes too small. That's what you get for eating frogs. There is that. But hey, that's the thing. Our car, or our new car, the one that Andrea drives, is from a dealership that they have a frog named Wiggity that is their mascot. And the shirt has on it WTF on the front for Wiggity the frog. And I thought it was such a cool shirt that I got 2 of them. Okay, let me double check this. Hey, look, the triangle's still there. Ah, there's the ruler. The ruler was hiding behind the keyboard and felt that, I guess it felt that if it was going to be replaced, it needed to come back. That's going to need to come out just a hair if I can. That should be good. I'll put it there. That way I'll never find it again. Your wife stole the Star Wars shirt that was in the shipment you got yesterday from Fan Home. Most of those shirts I don't fit in. And my wife saw the one, and the one for oops, wrong one. Where did I put it? There it is. The what is it? Optimus Prime one was in here, and she saw that and she's like, "Oh, another shirt that you can't wear because it's a large instead of an extra large or a 2X." Don't know why they keep sending shirts that size out, because for the most part, nobody in the States is a large anymore. Most of us are 2X at least. But there's not as much of me to go around as there used to be, because I am down below 210 now, and I'm very proud of that. Of course, I'm very close to 210, so I could pop right back up above 210. Well, no, Donnie, you're a small, but because you're small, you're a large. Okay, I'm wrong. Most of the people I know are 2XLs or larger. Let's see, does it roll? It kind of wants to roll. It does not want to roll. A little push on it. There we go. It does roll. Okay. So there is one set of wheels. So Donnie's large, so is Dawn. And Eric said, surprisingly, they sent a large. I need an XL or 2X, if not tall. Well, you know, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people in this country have have become large people. Now I was saying, I know you. I think I know you. Do I know you? Are you Donnie? Is it Donnie? Is Donnie that guy? I mean, I've never actually met you in person. I do have to say, though, Ian's description of meeting you for the first time is a riot. There's just this Donnie's voice is coming out of this small person. What the hell? Let's see. Let's measure and see if it's at least a little bit close. I don't know why, but this new ruler and the protractor and all, these make me happy. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you, but they make me happy. Good things come in small packages. Indeed, they do. Come up, there it is. Indeed, they do, Donnie. Good things come in large packages too. It's just the extra large packages where we start worrying. Okay, come on. Something I haven't checked. I should check because I haven't checked it since the month flipped over. Let me take a really quick look on the Agora website and see. No, not Amazon. Agora. And see what it says. You tell a mother, Don. So Donnie, you're saying you're fun-sized? And Donnie's like, oops. Donnie says, you mean the Ian-sized packages? Maybe. And round. Round is a shape. I am in shape. Okay, my account. I'm a bad person. I don't type my password in every time. Let's see what it says when I manage my subscriptions. Okay. Come on, play nice. Billed every month. Your subscription will start on 24 April. That's so long. That's what she said. She said that Donnie is fun size. Yes, and yes, I am whining about the fact that it's going to be a while, be 3 more weeks before I start getting shipments sent, let alone when they show up. Okay, come on. You could start a victory model. I am very seriously thinking about it. Once I get the push that, there we go. Once I get the alien done, should be tomorrow, I very likely will start one of the victories. Or go back to the pearl because that's for my wife, and she was hassling me because it was for her birthday 4 years ago. And I said, I'll finish it for your birthday someday. Okay. Let me throw some glue on here. And by the way, Howard, if you're still here, I really appreciate these clamps. They're sitting in a drawer right underneath where I have that my left monitor mounted. I'm going to throw some glue on here real quick. Super glue strings. Never thought I'd have to deal with them. And I'm thinking that's probably why the glue from Artesania Latina is what Dom was saying. This takes a bit to dry. I'm guessing it's probably, oh wow, that is very thin. Just looking, there is no English on it, but it is very thin glue. Not surprised that it takes a little bit to dry. Yeah, but Eric, you almost made it through a stream without hearing clamps, but you saw clamps the whole stream many, many times. Okay, let me set that there. Flip this over. I agree with you there, Don. I am not a huge fan of using CA on wood, but that's what they're using, and I wanted to give it a shot and see. If it doesn't work out to my liking, I have this stuff sitting right there. I have a few glues in there. So let me flip back a page or two and go there. It does not have a hole. This is going to be a little bit of a trick. So what I'm going to try and do is put this in there, right next to the light. Matter of fact, that's what I can do. Pin vise, pin vise, pin vise. Not so much pin vise as micro drill. And Howard did enable me on my clamp addiction. So I saw nothing. I saw nothing. You must be stopped. Yeah, they do. They also don't discolor the wood near as badly. But I bought the glue, and I bought extra of the glue just because I want to see how their glue works. Okay, so we'll grab a scrap of wood here. We will see if I got the right drill bit. Look at that. Grab the right one first time. So now the fun part. Where's the book go? There's the book. They have it towards the front of the light. Let me see if I can show it. So where they have the pull bar is right here. CA tends to bleed through. Yes, it does. Matter of fact, when I first started doing wood models, I tried using CA, and it ruined the finish of the wood. You could see where that I put the CA. Do not put that on the glue side, even though you put zip kicker on it. So put my thumb on here. Careful not to drill through wires or to break a drill bit. Okay, I did not quite get the hole big enough. See, the challenge here is to get the hole through this slat of wood without putting it through the roof or through the wire harness. Come on. No, I'm gonna wait. Straighten it out a little bit. Now it's a little bit loose in there. Ah, stay. Try and put some glue in the hole and then still be able to find the hole. I just looked at something. I've realized there was something I planned on doing a while ago that I have not done yet. That we'll have to do next Tuesday. But there is that pull cord. And that's basically, you either end of the car, you grab that cord and pull down on it to get the driver to stop the tram or cable car. But that's 2 hours, guys. I am going to call it a night. And let me go back, read the last of the chat. All right. When it happens, thin veneer CA sails right through. It just really ruins the surface of it. It will be blotchy. But like I said, that's all there is to do tonight. And let's go ahead and flip to this camera. And we'll end on a good shot of the tram itself. So thank you for coming by tonight, guys. If you're watching this on the restream, if you're watching it on the restream, been a while since I've done this. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of when I post new content. If you're liking it on the restream, leave a comment. There have been comments all night. Really enjoyed doing this. And thanks, Don. Thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Eric. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. Keep mumbling, Buck, because you forgot to set up the outro. That's how I am. There it is. There it is. Okay. So I will see you guys next time. Just remember tomorrow, the Hobby Time Modelers stream tomorrow night on the for the PG Falcon, the Perfect Grade Falcon from Bandai, and then again on Friday night, Sunday afternoon. I will see you guys all there, and have a great day. Have a great evening, and I'll catch you later.
Model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden